Hi there. So I've decided to do a book review on a book I've recently read called Feel Better in 5. The author is Dr. Rangan Chatterjee, and I found it very helpful. So I've decided to make a video on this. To begin with, the book is focused around developing very small habits. That is, the author calls it snacks. So he has divided the snacks into three categories: mind, body, and heart. He really focuses on doing these things for 5 minutes every day, 5 days a week. He promises us this is going to be life changing, and I can attest to that this has been very life changing if done regularly. On the point of doing it regularly, the author is very keen on making it a habit. That is, we do it consistently over time to see its benefits. He really focuses on these points, that to see the benefits, things have to be done consistently over time. He has some tips in the beginning to how to make a habit stick. We all want to develop good habits. We want to keep our good habits for as long as possible and to keep them indefinitely if possible. So he has 6 tips to achieve this. His first tip is to start easy, to keep it as simple as possible so that we are not hindered to just go ahead and start the habit on our day-to-day thing. So to keep it easy. The second one is to connect the habit or snack in case of this book to an already existing habit so that it becomes easy to continue forward. You don't need the motivation to get up again and to start the habit. So the third one the author says is to respect your rhythm. That is, we all have our flow, our day-to-day flow, where sometimes we feel like doing something and sometimes we feel like doing something else. So it's good to respect our flow, our rhythm, and to follow that, and that would help us to stick to our habits. And the fourth tip from the author is to make our surroundings in such a way that it's easy to get started. That is, suppose we want to exercise, maybe it's a 5 minute routine. Maybe it can be that, okay, whenever I see my yoga mat, I'll just take it out and I'll just do it. So keep it in front so that it's easy. So the fifth tip the author uses is to use positive self-talk. That is, talking to this oneself that you can do it, instead of you should do it, you have to do it. It's better to self-talk in a way such that it would be great if I could do this. And the sixth and final tip is to celebrate your success. So whenever we complete a habit successfully, we celebrate it, like either with just a woohoo, or we could keep a track of it in a calendar, or we could keep track of it using physical things. So what I like to personally do, and also what is suggested, is to keep it in a jar, something like this. So whenever I do a snack successfully, I just put a small bead into my jar and I look at it every day, and it just makes me feel good that I have done all these things regularly. As I mentioned earlier in the video, so the author has 3 types of snacks or 3 types of habits: mind, body, and heart. I will not go through each and every snack the author has mentioned because he's listed a lot of snacks. So I will go through the ones which I found to be the most useful for myself. In the mind category, what I found the most useful to me is the breathe technique, which is basically a form of meditation where what I do is I try to find a quiet place. I sit down with my back straight, arms down in a very resting position, close my eyes, and I set a timer for 5 minutes on my phone. So what I do is breathe deeply and count up to 5. And after the fifth count, come back to the first and then keep continuing this loop. So what happens generally is a lot of thoughts come to the mind, disturbing our chain of counting. So we have to try to get away from them and focus on the counting and the breathing if possible. It's okay that if I miss, sometimes I overshoot my counting. It can even go up to 15-20 sometimes, just because my mind is running through so many things. But the good thing is to just remember to come back to 1 and then restart the count. It's okay even if I forget to count it, I reset it back to 1. So for the body snack, what I like are the two suggestions. One is strength and the other one is balance. So the strength involves a small workout with 5 exercises, and each one done for 30 seconds. So that's 2.5 minutes, and then repeat it again. So the 5 exercises are lunges, which is fairly simple, and then reverse back fly. The third one is doing sit-ups, simple sit-ups. So the fourth one is doing a push-up, and the fifth and final one is doing hamstring raises. So the good thing the author has suggested is whatever difficulty level you are comfortable with, go with that and increase it from there onwards. So for example, the push-up, so people might find the push-up to be very difficult. So what could be done is, instead of doing it on the feet, we could do it on our knees. Even if the knees are difficult, we could do it on an elevation with arms on a table, and so on and so forth. And if push-up is too easy for us, what we could do is raise our legs up and try to do push-up that way. So the other body exercise that I like is a simple stretching of the back. So I have my 9 to 5 job and I'm sitting at my desk most of the days, and this is generally very bad for my back. So a simple stretch exercise helps with this for 5 minutes. So the author has 4 exercises over here focusing on the back. I'll not go through each and every one of them. It's quite difficult to explain what it does, but basically it stretches up our chest and our back. It feels really good after doing it. And the last type of snack is heart. So here what heart really means is, getting into connection with your loved ones, strengthening our social connections. And so the author has several snacks here. So the two I like the most are the tea ritual and phone a friend. So the tea ritual is simply sitting down with a loved one or a close family or friend for just 5 minutes, making some tea perhaps, or if you don't like tea, some other hot beverage, sitting with them and asking few questions. So the questions can be about anything, like just how was your day, how did it go, or how are you feeling right now. You can talk about yourself, you can ask them how they're feeling, if they have something to talk about, just spending some time with them. So we sometimes get too busy with our lives and the days seem to just go by. This helps in just connecting with our loved ones once in a while. So the other snack that I like is phone a friend. It's pretty simple. Just pick up your phone and call a friend of yours and catch up with them. How's their life going, what's going on. It's really refreshing to know how your friends are doing, and it brings back those memories you had with them. It's a really nice thing, I would say. Sometimes we just lose connection with our friends. It's been years and years since we've talked to them, and it feels more and more difficult to call them every year goes by. So I feel calling them every month or every other month, or even if it's once a year, it reconnects those bonds you used to have, and it makes you feel much better. So yeah, that's my very short review on the book that I recently read, Feel Better in 5 by Dr. Rangan Chatterjee. If you really like this, you can find the link in the description. You can get it from Amazon. I've gifted it to both my brother and my sister because I found real value in this book, and hope they also find the value, and hope you do too. Thank you for watching. See you.